So the question is, what meridian is related to sciatica pain? Well, it's not always a meridian related to a specific pain, but it can be. The muscle that's often related to sciatica pain is on the circulation sex meridian. It's the piriformis muscle. Again, if you have the Touch for Health book, remember, go and read all those indications, because they'll say, oh, sciatic is in the muscle that's the piriformis. It'll talk about sciatica is often involved in that. Also, you know, anything could cause anything. That's one of the things Goodhart told me. And that's why the beauty of testing and finding out what's involved, like I had a woman with sciatica, and she couldn't sleep at night, and I'm testing, and it came up she had parasites. So that's something we cover in our biochemical course. Well, we cleared her parasites, and I didn't do anything to balance the circulation sex meridian, but by clearing her parasites, I was using a specific energy frequency device. She said, oh, sciatica's totally gone. And this is so fun. See, back from before I learned kinesiology, I'd say, oh, for this, you do that. And that's kind of our mental frame. Whenever they have this is the technique for that. That's the meridian for that. That's for this. But often it's where you think it is, it ain't. And Goodhart said, anything can cause anything. Which kind of, well, then what do I do? Well, you muscle test and you find out what the body gives you. And many times when I didn't even know what was going on with somebody, but I said, well, let's see what we're showing you here. Let's find out where there's energy blockage, and I clear the energy blockage. And they say, well, I didn't tell you I had sciatica, but it's cleared up, or whatever the condition was. Chronic cough. I had a woman that had chronic coughs, and I don't have it anymore. All kinds of chronic, one was chronic constipation, which will be covering the reflexes for the large intestine, but I wasn't fixing her colon condition. I was fixing her hip problem, which happened to be the fascia lata and the large intestine related points. So you want to be aware of the, always test, but that's a common one. Goodhart used to talk about, well, there was things that were like 80%, when they'd have certain things, it would be 80% of the time this, and 40% of the time this, maybe 20% of the time this, from his experience. So at least you know where to look first, and maybe you'll find it. So those are kind of things as you learn more and more, and that's what those indications are in the Touch for Health book. Now, by the way, if you do have the Touch for Health book, in the back, there's an index here, where if you look in the index, it'll say certain things, like if you look up headaches, it'll mention certain pages to look for, or any condition, and then you look at those pages and it would be like, oh, it's commonly like liver, one-sided headaches. So when we just covered, one-sided headaches will often be liver gallbladder. So there's indications are indexed here that you can then know what page to turn to in the book. By the way, if you do have this book, there's tabs you can cut out to then access the muscles, like, you know, the little indexes here. But it would take too much work for them to cut it out. So they allow the dotted lines here for you to cut it out so you see where they are. And then you can flip quickly to those without just flying through the book.